How are you this morning? I am refreshing this morning. I know you may be wondering, what is refreshing? Well, usually when you wake up from sleep, you become refreshed, right? But when you wake up, it takes you a moment to kind of settle into yourself, and breathe in life. That's what I mean. I wanted to talk a little bit to you about Transformational Tantra in a different aspect, and why I named it Transformational Tantra. So, many of you know Transformational Tantra is my self-love program that I created because I saw a need for people needing to love themselves, and it's my contribution to the world with the wisdom and information that I've been endowed with to help save our civilization. And I call it Tantra because Tantra to people are many things, and a lot of people, when they hear Tantra, they take it as a sexual thing, sexual transformation. And it is, but that's only 1% of Tantra, to be honest with you. Tantra has been around since during the beginning of time. And it always deals with the transformation within, whether using sensuality, meditation, because Tantra means meditation, but there's different forms of meditation. Sensual Tantra is a way to reach enlightenment quicker with a partner, and you can do it yourself, but it was originally with a partner. And it helps you reach that enlightenment state through the power of sensuality because it raises your vibrations so quickly and it enhances your power. Many don't realize that through sensuality and through sexual practice, you are expending power, and you are. That is strong energy. That is why when men and women and children are sensually abused, it hits so hard in taking away the power from you. And you feel it to your core. You feel that loss of strength within yourself, because that is a power that is taken, that you have to learn how to reuse again. Especially through sublimation. Sublimation is a way of splitting your psyche in half. Rape does the same thing. It will split your psyche. So you'll walk around as one person, but inside you'll be another person. So you'll present one person to the world, and another aspect you'll be another person. And you don't necessarily come together in there. In Tantra, there's a lot of psychology in play and involved. And a lot of care to that psychology. You're dealing with the joining of your subconscious and your conscious mind. Now, those of us that study psychology know we study 3 different consciousness levels that they don't use or really talk about anymore. Because you have your unconscious and stuff like that. Now they use unconscious state when you're just out. But it's a little different than that also. But let's discuss it another time. So, but we study mainly conscious state and subconscious state, which is always on, always collecting. And that is what they use to control. That is what they use when they program you and you don't know you're being programmed, because everything sinks into your subconscious level. Okay. Every culture group has their own form of studying this, their own form of Tantra in particular. Meditative practice. Now, Transformational Tantra, my program, does get to the sensual aspect much, much, much later. You can't even get to that in my program unless you go through the healing. Reason being is when people who are split in here or broken, they always want to go to the sensual. They think that that's all that it's about. It is not all that it's about. And if you do that, you run the risk of really harming yourself more psychologically because you're not ready to take what you sense and what you see. You're just thinking it's sensual bliss and that's it. No. This is what people don't understand about Tantra. Okay? It opens you up to everything. Everything. Because your vibrations are raised so high. You're mixing around with everything that's going on. And past life memories can come through. Your abuses can come through. Mistreatments. Happy thoughts. See, it's kind of chaotic. If you are not settled in yourself. If you don't love yourself and if you don't have a base. Half the people that are practicing Tantra should not be practicing Tantra, nor should they be teaching Tantra, because they don't really know what Tantra is. Okay? Many groups have certifications for Tantra. Tantra didn't have no certifications. You studied under the monks of the monastery because there was particular sects that dealt with Tantra and how it was taught. And in the United States, we do not have the right idea of what Tantra is. We don't. In the East and those countries, African countries, they do. We don't. We got the watered down version. Because true Tantra masters, very few teach the true Tantric path. Very few. In the aspect of my program, I named it Transformational Tantra because it does just that. I'm taking the first part, which is the meditative part. Okay? The meditative part is the self-reflective part. And it has its own rituals because there are rituals in Tantra. There are steps that you go through. So, in my form of Transformational Tantra, first step is dealing with the meditative. It is dealing with building the self-love and the strength within through being authentically who you are and accepting who you are, releasing trauma, understanding you have a choice, seeing where science comes into play. And I want to talk about that a little bit because some people are so religious, they discount the science. Well, hold on a second. The first mathematics was dealt with the planets and the stars. That was the first mathematics that was developed. So I'm trying to understand how you going to discount astrology, astronomy, and call that blasphemous when that was the first basis of our science. And that deals with everything that affects us. We are energy. So that means anything and everything in our universe affects our energy fields. It's all valid. That's why I say it's all valid. So that's why we're talking about the choice. Having the choice to choose, right? Because there's different paths. Well, when you are more spiritual and you believe in meditation and you believe in, and there's some people that are religious that do too, and that's great. But, that meditative, that dealing with frequency, amplitude, and I deal with the amplitude and wavelengths, not just frequency. I deal with the physics behind how the frequency affects you. And it's kind of huge. My program includes science. It includes psychology. It includes the laws of the universe and how they affect you and how science interplays into that. It includes a lot of that. It includes definitely the laws, which we're going to start going over as to why you need to learn the laws of the universe. Transformational Tantra is about you choosing your path and what that means when you choose your path, your will, your path. It is a spiritual-based program. It is not a religious-based program. I want you to understand that. It has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. And it's not going to. We talk about spirit because that affects us, many. We talk about the laws of the universe and how they relate to real life and what we do. For example, Newton's laws, more than just scientific laws, they're the laws of life and how that affects you. Because you're moving forward, but you don't understand how there's certain laws into play affecting you and what you're doing. And you play into these laws, but you don't understand how you play into these laws. Transformative Tantra explains that. It goes through behavior changes and what to do with that. I notice a lot of programs right now are teaching you how to change behavior, but that's only part of it. Okay. Changing your thoughts, changing what you say. Speaking is spelling. Now, some people will say that that's magic. Words are magic. You cannot escape at any point of this life what you think is secular, or what you think, if you're religious at the time, or what you think is not a part of the Great Spirit. Wrong. Source made it. So it's all valid. And it all affects you. Transformational Tantra delves into all of that to show how you're affected, how things outside of you affect you, and how you affect you, to create a better picture of how to help yourself grow, get over the trauma, actually let it go, and do one of the hardest things that ever really happens in your own development, which is loving you. Let me explain that. You see so many broken people walking around right now, and they are more apt to reach for someone else to love instead of reaching for themselves. I know you see this. I know you do. And they look so broken. And I've said it before. If you're broken, what do you have to offer someone else, honestly? Are you really expecting someone else to fix you and to put up with your sorrow and your pain that only you can fix? Now, some people would say, well, they're a support for me and but what about them and their life and what they're going through and what their wishes and things are? What about them? Is that fair to them? Do they have time to do all that with you? Do they even want to? That's not their job. Their job is to be your partner and support you and love you. Their job is not to fix you. So why are you bringing that to their door? Some people get upset when I say that, but that's the truth. I don't want a broken person bringing their problems to my door. I got my own. It's not my job to fix yours. It's not your partner's job to fix your problems. You should be reaching for you and the love of you. Is that tough? Hell yeah, it is. Does it feel lonely? Yes, it can. Sure can. Sure can. But you know what? You gotta love you before you love somebody else. You gotta love you. That's what this program is about. It's centered around you. I am not going to teach you how to find somebody else without you fixing you. That is doing a disservice to you and whoever that partner is. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to lead you back to the greatest jewel in your life, which is you. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach you that through loving yourself, your vibrations change. I'm trying to teach you that through loving yourself, you are more aware of what you're putting in your body, what you're poisoning yourself with, who you're poisoning yourself around, pushing them away. Because, let me tell you something. You went through hell to fall to this state, right? You're going to work through hell to get back to you. to that strength level. And there's no limit of time that it takes to get you there. I cannot guarantee you that in a certain number of weeks, you just going to end up there. No, it don't work like that either. You move at the pace you move. It's your healing. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. I can't streamline it for you. I can only walk you through the steps, give you a certain time limit, but then I'm there as support the rest of the way. And then, when you get to you and you're ready, then, you understand? Then. So, I want you to understand that Transformational Tantra was created for the purpose of you using your will to heal yourself and find your self-love and live your authenticity. That's why I created the program. I created it because Source saw that love was needed and people didn't know what love was. Source saw that people are stuck in religion and leaving religion and do not understand what is going on. Many of us have the wrong understanding of spirit and what it's asking us to do. And many of us have the right, because spirit speaks to each one of us, right? But Source is different. The main creator, that's different. And it needed the lesson taught properly. I spoke again about you don't know what you lose to have to do certain things. Well, that's me. That's me. So this program is for you. It ain't for me, but I walk it because I need to. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. So I hope you have a better understanding of why it was created for you. Why I call it Tantra. Tantra is change, meditative change, honestly. And it's transformational because once you know, you can't unknow. Once you learn, you can't unlearn. And you keep moving forward. And that's what it's for. To transform you back to you, who you are, in total, in authenticity, in love. That's transformational. Because that's forever change. The change that you make in any of these programs is supposed to be forever change. That's why Transformational Tantra was made. To make a change in your life forever. And hopefully, it will do that for you. All right, y'all. We're going to get started on the laws of the universe and how they affect you in some of the consequent days. And I'm looking forward to doing that. All right, y'all. You take care. You have a wonderful day. And just sit and think about it. And hopefully, it'll work. It'll work for you. All right. Take care now.